legs, so you know he's here. Fox and Friends Enterprise reporter Lawrence Jones visited Idaho this week, where he spoke to law enforcement officials and Governor Brad Little about the growing crisis. Lawrence, good morning.
Hey, good morning, family. As you guys said in the intro, every state is a border state. When you think of Idaho, you don't think about illegal immigration, but you do think about the drugs that are using the same pathway that the cartel is using. I had the opportunity to talk to the governor there and two sheriffs there. Take a look.
We're going out into this area. It looks nice and calm. I can guarantee you there are cartel members in this area we're going to. This goes all the way to California.
This road right here?
Yeah.
Drugs coming this way?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's been cars going back and forth, 18-wheelers. Could drugs be in these vehicles?
It could be in every one, probable in half of them. Our number one threat is that border. Because everything...
That's the gateway.
Everything that's bad coming across it ends up in America.
96% of the law enforcement agencies concur that the fentanyl and the meth that are coming into Idaho are sourced in Mexico.
How bad is it?
It's bad, and it's getting worse because it's getting to be more and more abundant, and it's getting to be cheaper.
Last year, over 90,000 Americans died from drug overdoses, and the two primary drugs that they overdose on are fentanyl and methamphetamine. Those drugs come from one place, and that's south of our border. Just in the last year, we had several overdose deaths. We had a homicide directly tied to a drug deal that had gone bad. It was a fentanyl drug deal. It happened 100 yards from my front door. I have had the unfortunate task of having conversations with family members who have lost children, who have lost fathers, who have lost mothers. The people that are manufacturing this fentanyl, that are bringing this fentanyl across the border, and that are selling it absolutely know that it kills people.
Over 40% of every pill is a lethal dose. 1 grain of fentanyl that would fit on the end of your pencil is enough to kill you. Within the last 3 months, I had 2 officers where we processed them into the jail, working on the guy's wallet or his money and bag, and they opened up the bag and both men went to the ground instantaneously, just dropped like that, because those are airborne particles. We administered Narcan immediately, and then one officer had to go on a Narcan IV drip to save his life.
That's the type of stuff that's coming across this border.
Absolutely. Every day. That's what our guys are dealing with out there on the streets every day.
We're in an undisclosed location right here. This is where your operations happen, narcotic busts. Talk about how risky it is. I mean, it's already risky being a cop.
Yeah.
But taking on the cartel.
Yeah. These guys are at high risk every minute of every day.
The federal government always tends to get out of their lane. Defending this country is the designated role by the founders of this country to defend the country and to protect the borders.
Are we losing that fight right now?
Oh, absolutely, no question about it. That's why I was one of 25 governors that sent a letter to the president saying this is a crisis. We've got to address this.
And what did the president say? What did his office say?
Well, I think the letter just went out last week, so we're waiting for a reply.
I met Mr. Trump twice. I was in the White House twice, meeting with him on these issues. He brought us to the table. This administration, we have none of that. Not only do we not get invited to the table, there is no table, because in their eyes, there's no problem.
Everything that you guys are doing currently, unfortunately, is reactionary then.
All reactionary.
Defensive.
Absolutely. And it's a Band-Aid on the flowing artery. Let's put a Band-Aid here. The blood's still flowing.
The drug problem is not something that we can arrest our way out of. We have to deal with the supply side, and that is doing something about our borders.
Are we losing the war right now?
Without a doubt.
Law enforcement's in the battle to the bitter end, but America is losing the battle. We are losing this war at the border. We're losing this war in our neighborhoods.
Yeah, guys, and that same sheriff said, you know, they can't arrest out of this problem because it's only reactive. Taking people off the street that have drug addictions, think they're getting one thing and being sold another, is only a reactive approach. Until they get the big guns. By the way, those big guns, the cartel, they sue them. They have high-power attorneys, and that sheriff has been sued like 3 times already.
By the cartel?
By the cartel.
Yeah, I think the last place
Yeah.
you would think Mexican cartel would be Idaho, but that's how far the tentacles
That's exactly
go.
right. He said as those 18-wheelers were passing by, he said about 50% of those are stacked with drugs.
And they know
there's
it.
nothing that they can do about it because they will be challenged in court. They'll speed up, they'll keep the process out 2 years. He says he's done it over and over. And he said back in the Trump administration, he said they hadn't won the war, but they were going on the offense, and now they're in the defensive posture. When you think about the border, people think about the kids and the families that are coming, but that same criminal enterprise is how you get the drugs through and the human trafficking.
Incredible.
That's why everybody says it's not a border issue, it's a country issue, because every state is a border state. Look, you were in Idaho, and look at what's going on with the drug situation.
That's exactly
there.
right.
Yeah.
Great job,
All right,
Lawrence.
Lawrence,
Thanks,
thank
guys.
you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Lawrence.